doing over here? What are we doing over here? What is going on, guys? I don't know um, how this video is gonna end up ending or going or whatever. I mean, you guys know I have no rhyme or reason. I just start blabbering. Um, it's more of like a vent session. Some of you guys asked when I was gonna do a live, so I'm here. It's been a while. I wanted to do one earlier, but I was like, let me wait for the presser at this point, and let me wait. What's up, T Riv? Let me wait and see what these Yankees are gonna come up with. I wanted, and I was like, let me wait for the presser at this point, and I don't know. Let's see something. I honestly don't know. Wait and see. It's like all these emotions. I'm mad. I'm like I expected some of this shit. I mean, it's more of the same. Um, it's sorry. I think it was blabbering back at you guys. I'm sorry for that. You know it's never a kept stream if there's not a bunch of like weird things going on, guys. Sorry, but let me just take these off because I like how this sounds. Take the limiter off. Take this off. This is compressor off. Let's just do all that. Sorry. So guys, sub Tina. Guys, go on there and as you guys are trickling in, smack that like, hit that sub. I know Pete went on during the presser and made his comments, and we've kind of talked in our chat and stuff like that throughout the day. I can't wait to do a show with Pete and Francis so we can vent more. Or let me know in the comments on the chat where you guys want to talk with. What's up, O'Connor? Listen, man. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm gonna start with Boone. It's funny because the Yankees trotted out Boone and Cashman, even though to me that feels more like a GM thing. Um, the issue, I don't know why. I mean, Boone was there. I don't know if Boone did it last year. I gotta go double check. Um, but no, Cohen went out and tweeted at the end of the season. We haven't heard from Hal besides what Cashman said that Hal is upset. What is he upset about? That the Yankees didn't advance so he could get more money from the games going on in the playoffs? That's probably what he's upset about. He's not really upset about the championship. I don't think he gives two shits about a championship. Um, it's gotten to a point where you got to understand you're the owner of the New York Yankees. If you don't want to be part of like if you don't want to be the face, unfortunately you can't, there's nothing you can do. You're the owner of one of the biggest, if not the biggest sports franchise in the world, one of the used to be one of the winningest franchises of the world. Your father ran it a specific way. I'm not gonna get into all that stuff again. I'm just not. I'm just gonna focus on what this do. But shout out to Pete's "Where is Hal" movement right now, because it's true. Where is Hal? Where is the owner that said that we had to bump more? These guys still can't bunt. Where is that owner that said that he was gonna, they were gonna do the audit, which was hilarious because they paid the Yankees paid a company to tell them how they audit and took their the way they audit and audited themselves. How do you expect to be objective? How do you expect to hold people accountable in the analytics, in the front office department, if you're within yourself basically coaching and auditing yourself? There's nobody to tell you what you guys might or might not. No outside look. At the end of the day, to me, it always comes up to the similar things with Cashman and with their front office, and it's the ego and the smugness of the I gotta be right no matter what. Let's start with the daddy ball, the epitome of daddy ball. It's funny that it's happening in travel sports, but it's happening now at the major league level. It's happening right now with the New York Yankees. It's the daddy ball is basically your Anthony Volpe. So the situation with Anthony Volpe is daddy ball. That's exactly what it is. It's the coach, and sometimes the coach's son is really good, but most of the times that's not the case. Um, Daddy ball is our kids play on top of no matter what's going on. So just of those guys who don't know what the daddy ball thing is, if you don't have kids in travel sports, it's just basically the coach's kids play more than other kids and get more opportunities than the other kid. And this is what you're saying with Anthony Volpe. For them to say that Anthony Volpe is like Dansby Swanson, I mean, I don't know where these guys get these from. They probably took these couple of days to sit down and actually have a legit conversation of how are we going to spin this Anthony Volpe situation. And you know what's wild? That they come up with this. I didn't see the complete. I can't see the entire thing. I just can't sit there and waste an hour of my time watching both of those guys blab out their ass as they do year in and year out. This year, you can have your conversations on how it went. There's a lot of common things that happen with this Yankee organizations since Boone took over. I made a post the other day about Gary Sanchez. If you guys remember, I think that was 2017. Yeah, Todd Frazier was on the team. Runners at the corners, Gary Sanchez, I believe it was 2 outs or 1 out, 2-0 count, 99-mile-per-hour fastball, low and away. He just backspins it to the gap. Yankees take the lead. And I said, Gary Sanchez at that point had over 75 games and about 53 home runs. He's basically a home run hitter. And on a 2-0 pitch, he didn't think home run. He didn't think I'm going to put it over the seats. What's up, Medina? Okay. He wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to basically hit a home run. A guy who was basically a home run hitter, Gary Sanchez at that point, had his own approach and like, this guy's throwing gas, 99. He goes away on me. I'm putting this ball in the gap and we're taking the lead. And that's exactly what he did. He hit a double in the gap, 2-run score. Didi scored from first. The 2024-2025 Yankees on that 2-0 pitch, he would have tried to pull that for a home run. The 2024-2025 Yankees, not 2024, sorry, 2025 Yankees, bases loaded, with no outs, could not convert a run. Those are the New York Yankees that they have one approach, and that approach is hit the ball over the fence. And I hate going against it. I hate going against this narrative because it's, or talking about it because I agree with it almost 70% of the time. But when it comes to playoff baseball, you are facing elite pitching. And this is what people don't understand. You are facing elite pitching. It becomes much harder to hit home runs. Just because you look at the totality of the postseason and you say, this team hit this amount of home runs. Well, how many home runs were against the starting rotation? How many home runs of those were against the closers? A lot of those home runs came in blowouts. The games that were one-sided, or the games where the B or C reliever came in, right? Yo, Jimmy, que lo que? Dime a ver. Smack that like, hit that sub, guys. I'll get to your. I'm gonna vent a little. I'll get to all your questions, and we can talk back and forth in a few. Tell me where the Yankees. I just lost Kevin. I'm answering your questions now, guys. Sorry. Basically talking about, guys, I was just going back before I start talking about the whole Boone and Cashman debacle. I was basically talking about the 2017 Yankees and how their approach was, and we know who came in 2018 and how the Yankees changed the entire approach of the minor leagues, of the major league club, and everything else. It was a complete 180 in 2018. They brought in Giancarlo Stanton, and it was home run or bust, no matter what. So, my whole thing is, it's funny. I saw today the hoodies of the baseball of the postseason were built for October. Check this out. I'm about to say this. The hoodies this year was they said built for October. Well, let me tell you that the Yankees are built for 162. The Yankees are built for 162. They're not a team most of the times that are built for October. Because for some reason, it's almost the Yankees don't hit. This year, the starting rotation did screw us over in the second round. We can't negate that. The bullpen that was the majority of our worries was able to, besides that one game, were able to hold the Toronto's feet to the fire. But going back to what I was saying, the Yankees made the complete 180, and now we're here in 2025, and Judge is about to start the decline. We don't know when the decline or when the end of his prime is going to start. Hopefully it's maybe 3 years from now. We don't know. Father Time is undefeated, right? And we're going to hear say that we got to wait for Anthony Volpe one more year. We have to see Anthony Volpe come next year and see if he can bounce back and be the player that we all believe in this organization that Anthony Volpe can be. 2019, by the way, who was a big part of that offense was DJ LeMahieu, and DJ LeMahieu is not a home run hitter. And I'll get to all your questions and your comments, guys, in a few. I just want to touch on what Boone said, because Boone is saying that Volpe is Dansby Swanson. Boone is saying that Volpe's a late bloomer. I heard somebody said that they mentioned Daniel Jones. And as a Giants fan, I completely lost it. I said, absolutely fucking not. You think I'm going to watch this shit if this motherfucker's talking about Daniel Jones with Anthony Volpe. So basically you're saying that Anthony Volpe's going to suck with the New York Yankees and he's going to become what Dansby Swanson is on another fucking team. How does that help the New York Yankees? Cashman's response to, are you worried about Judge and Cole's prime, was, I don't worry about this or that. I worry about putting the best team forward. You mean to tell me that the best team forward is with Anthony Volpe as your shortstop? You mean to tell me that a guy who can't hold a 300 on-base percentage for his career, or at any year he had over a 300 on-base percentage, that is the shortstop of the New York Yankees? Forget about him hitting 209. He can't hold the 300 on-base percentage. (2023) 283, 2024 293, this year 272. Those are his career average on base is 283 for Anthony Volpe. They said he's more like Dansby Swanson. He's a late bloomer, is what they're saying. His OPS was 81, 86, and now 83. Boone says he doesn't think that his shoulder affected his play. Cashman said absolutely he thinks that his shoulder affected his play. These guys don't know what is it the right or the left hand that wipes the Yankees' ass. They don't know anything. They're not on the same page. The same day of the fucking press conference, they're not even on the same page. It might be purposely so people can think that they're not as united as it is back in the back offices. This is all about the frustration as Yankee fans. Listen, that doesn't mean that the Yankees might actually sign Bo Bichette. But your answer should be, we're gonna get the best shortstop possible for the New York Yankees. If we can sign a guy in free agency, if we could trade for somebody in free agency, you bet your ass we're going to be looking for one. But if not, it's going to have to be a battle between Caballero and Anthony Volpe. That should have been your fucking answer. Volpe has done nothing to deserve the starting job of the New York Yankees shortstop, man. This is ridiculous, bro. It gets to a point where, as a fan, you don't even know if you really want to fucking watch this team, man. I grew up and I love this team, and I'm never gonna stop watching. We go down with the ship, as we always say. But my God, do you make it difficult, bro? As I said, I got a nice tweet here about yeah so I'm gonna read this tweet from Yankee Slut. Shout out to Yankees LIT. Not surprising, the Yankees dismissed Volpe's shoulder in 2025 to defend his usage, then retroactively blamed it to defend him starting in 2026. Find me a competitive organization more status quo addicted. We heard Boone say that Volpe is 24. Dominguez is 22. Dominguez is 22, and you guys made it clear that you weren't going to play him. Now I love his ceiling, but he's going to the Dominican Winter League. He's going to work on this and that. What is Volpe going to work at? Is Volpe ever going to hit? Oh, he can't swing a bat in 8 weeks. That's definitely going to help him for this next year. I'm going to tell you this now on October 17th, 2025. What's up, Aaron, Robert, Nathaniel? What's up, my guy? Smack that like, hit that sub. I'm going to get to all your comments, I promise. I just got to get this rant out. I'm telling you guys this now. Jot down the fucking time and date. The New York Yankees in 2026, at the end, they're going to tell you that that Anthony Volpe, because of his surgery and started late in spring training and couldn't have his normal offseason workout regimen, that's why he had a bad year. That is what the Yankees are going to emphasize 2026 Volpe, that he didn't have a good year because he didn't start on time because of his offseason injuries. I'm telling you this right now. That's what the Yankees are going to say. You're telling this fan base they got to sit through another year of Anthony Volpe already in 2025. You couldn't spare us fucking months of that shit, man. You couldn't just said we're going to see where we're going to. Anthony Volpe has to go through fucking whatever you wanted to say, but to not say that it's basically his job. So Gina Moscato was talking about Anthony Volpe on her tweet, and she said the truth is the Yankees did this to themselves, no favors, by continuing to march a hurt Anthony Volpe on the field in the ALDS. He had 15 at bats, 1 hit, 11 Ks. I thought it was 12 Ks, but let's just go. Was he the reason they lost? No, but why wouldn't you give your team the best chance to win? Why isn't this the thought process? I quote tweeted to that. This is negligence of the New York Yankees to keep rolling out players who clearly aren't the best options. Will always baffle the fan base. They hope the news of Volpe can somehow quiet the noise right now, but Cabby had a 131 OPS plus. Volpe has never sniffed 131 OPS plus. You still played Volpe in that time again. Management is supposed to set players. Management is supposed to set players up for success, and the Yankees keep laying eggs left and right. Is it ego? Is it stubbornness? Is it right? We will never know, but I doubt it. Will we ever know? And I said I doubt it. Sorry. And then I ended the tweet with, I don't dislike Anthony Volpe, but the Yankees sure make it difficult not to. And I thought that was a nice way to end it. Because it's like, it's not that I hate Anthony Volpe. It's not that I don't think he could be an average player in the MLB. The Yankees don't have time for that right now, brother. We just don't. If this is the end of, if Judge was 37, 38, 39, and he's declining, and Volpe would have came up at that, I wouldn't have said anything, because you're trying to basically wait for Judge to finish and start fresh, or whatever the case may be. The Yankees never really truly. They never tank, or they never take 2, 3, 4 years off. But it would have been more understandable if it was towards the tail end of Judge's career. You still have Garrett Cole and Judge, and you just signed Max Fried. You still have those guys, 2 of the top 10, 15 players in the MLB in your team, and you're gonna roll out Anthony Volpe as your shortstop. Dansby Swanson, by the way, he hit 300. When he first came up, it was only 38 games. So I didn't take it into account. I went over and looked at his numbers. And what I will tell you is you can see constant progress. In 2017, he had a 68 OPS plus. In 2018, he had an 87 OPS plus. And in 2019, he had an 89 OPS plus. And then in 2020, it's a short season, but he had a 111 OPS plus. So by Boone's words is that Volpe should explode next season. But we're going to hear that Anthony Volpe couldn't do his normal offseason workouts because he had surgery. And this is why that leaked into 2026 2026, and that's why he still can't hit. Anthony Volpe, to me, I just don't think he's going to hit. I don't think he's going to be an average hitter in the major leagues. I think he's going to be a below average hitter that when his defense isn't good, becomes a negative to the team. It just there's no way to put it. His best asset is the defense, and if he's not playing elite defense or great defense at best, he is a detriment to your team. He creates a negative value. He's a guy who can steal bases but doesn't get on base. Like what? How is that helping your team? The fact that the Yankees knew he was hurt and they got Caballero, and Caballero was hitting the way he was, and they still played Anthony Volpe, boggles my mind. It really does. I don't know what Anthony Volpe did to this. Like what? He's not a Steinbrenner. If this was Steinbrenner's kid, I get it. Let me go to some of your comments, guys. So, shout out to everybody over here. Smack that like, hit that sub. Jose Medina, T. Riv, Robert, Jimmy Bernard, Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel, Jay Gonce, Que lo que toque fried chicken. Jose, honestly, I'm not even mad anymore. Let me see. Kev, in my opinion, I think people should have just turned their back at the press conference. But remember, the people in the press conference are actually reporters, so they're the ones. If you're talking about us, we do content and we cover the Yankees and we're all fans and we got to talk about. And at the end of the day, if we don't call this bullshit out, it's gonna be it's gonna happen over and over again. T-Riv, I'm cheering for individual players now. We'll follow Jason. Jason is gonna play for the Escogidos and Lidon. If you have the MLB package, like the MLB, if you paid for it, the Lidon games are there. You just got to go to home and keep going down, and it'll be Lidon and then the Mexican League. Both of those leagues are there, and you'll be able to see, I believe Austin Wells might play a couple games because he's from Escogido, because he might play in the WBC. And then I know Jason is supposed to, he got the green light. I'm going to let you guys know what other Yankee players, maybe prospects, are on some other teams. Hey, Becker. Kev, how long do you think Rodon is going to be out? They said, I think that's accurate. With the offseason, it's smart. These guys get surgery right away. They rest for their 2 months, and they wrap up at the end of December. So I think, if anything, if Rodon misses more than 2 weeks, I'd be surprised in the beginning of the season. So I think Rodon will be fine. Jose, I feel that. I say Jason is traded. I don't want to see Jason traded, but I'm going to be real sad if the Yankees trade Jason and they stick to Spencer Jones, because I don't think Spencer Jones is going to be good. I hope he proves me wrong. I think he's going to have same thing, elite defense, going to hit 30, 35 home runs, but he's going to strike out 180 times, and it's just not going to be enough home runs to offset the amount of strikeouts and the low batting average. His defense is going to be great, though. And for what he's going to make his first 3 years, that might help the Yankees out. But I just don't like the Yankees. Dominguez in his first year already proved that he's at least an average bat. 700 OPS is average. I believe Dominguez is at a 711 or 716, something like that, OPS. And you didn't even give him full run. 16 Ks in the postseason. Yeah, you already know. He misses fastball down. I've never seen somebody miss that many fastballs down the middle like Anthony Volpe, bro. I truly don't. Give me Ketel Marte. Oh, my God. Aaron, you know that shit's going to happen, bro. Stop it. Stop it with that shit. You think the Yankees re-sign Bellinger? I think the Yankees have to re-sign Bellinger, kind of. I don't want to go more than 5. I know Pete said he doesn't want to go more than 4, I think. I don't want to go more than 5. The Yankees, I feel like they have to, because he just serves such a good need. If you need him in the outfield, he's going to be there. If you need him in first base, he's going to provide plus defense there. He's a plus defender at both first and the outfield, anywhere in the outfield, right, center, left field. So I absolutely think the Yankees are going to try and keep him. It's going to be surprising to see what team bids for him. The Mets, I think, want him as well. And I don't know if they're gonna go after Grisham hard or they're gonna go after Bellinger hard, but I think they're gonna get one of those two guys. I don't want anything to do with Big Sleep. Big Sleep could sleep his ass all the way over to Queens. I don't give a shit, or wherever the fuck he goes. I don't want any part of that motherfucker. Because I swear to God, bro. That's another thing. We had a leadoff hitter with a 430 OPS in the playoffs, bro. He made no adjustments besides Ahmed Rosario during the playoffs. That's one of the only things that I critique Boone in, and not pinch hitting guys in the seventh or eighth inning or sixth. Like what are you waiting for? I'm not even gonna touch about pinch hitting for Dominguez there for Volpe, so just he doesn't get booed. I'm glad Dominguez ripped a double. That's something that he provides. He has great play discipline. He puts bat to ball, and he's fast as shit on the bases. Like I feel like Jose Caballero would have gave us a much better shot in the playoffs, because he's a guy who at least battle at bats. When you have a guy, like that's why Garrett Cole hates him, because he's pesky. If one of the best pitchers in baseball hated him when he was on Tampa Bay, you as an organization should look that. But there's no numbers behind Jose Caballero being an annoying motherfucker when he's at bat. There's nothing besides maybe there's a stat where it's like how many pitches you do after two strikes, or how many +6 pitches at bats do you have. I wish they would have that for here, because they have it for Game Changer for my kids, where they score baseball. It's called 6+, whereas how many at bats have a player seen 6 pitches or more, or how many at bats after 2 strikes they see more than 3 pitches, for example. That's already a competitive at bat. So that's what I liked about Caballero in the playoffs. I think that has a lot of value. Plus, if he gets on anyway via walk or hit, he's a threat to steal bases. So I mean, it's like you have a guy who stole 40, almost 50 bases, and you didn't play him in the playoffs. It's really stupid. It just is. Aaron Rodgers, Kev, is Cattell if Cattell is available, but they want Jason, of course I'm doing that shit, bro. But the thing is that where are you putting Jazz? I mean, you're sending Jazz in that trade. I could see them sending Jazz in that trade, or I mean, what are you gonna do with Jazz? Jazz plays second. You know, I love Cattell, but are they really trading him? I don't think so, man. No way Bellinger goes to the Mets. He will stay with the Yankees. I hope so, Becker. I do. I'm just saying that they're interested. Like I hear their fans talking about him, and there's interest. He's a Stearns kind of guy. He could play multiple positions. He's a great defender. So that's why I'm saying that you don't be surprised if the Mets try and steal him away. No, Bellinger goes to the Mets. He will stay with the Yankees. Jay Gon says, personally, I'm sick of the over analytic baseball because of analytics. Our manager who can't even manage the team. I feel like Bellinger goes back to Chicago. I don't know. Bellinger is a Boris client. That will be a major detail. Yeah, absolutely. That is the biggest thing right there with Belly. He is a Boris client, so that is gonna cost. Nathaniel Crenshaw says my Dodgers won. I believe you guys are 1 game from the World Series, Nathaniel. Let us know. I mean, listen, I know. I thought that your biggest threat in the National League was the Phillies, and you handled them well. And the Phillies had to beat you in a short series. I don't think the Phillies beat you in a 7-game series. I thought they had a shot in the 5-game series, but they blew that game 1, and you guys handled your business. So shout out to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to dog walk anybody who goes in the American League. I'm sorry. This was going to happen. Even if the Yankees made it to the World Series, I knew this shit was going to be a repeat of last year. So, I mean, like, the Dodgers are just insane, bro. They're deep as fuck. They're healthy right now. It's scary to face that motherfucking team, bro. Multani's hitting 150, and they're still fucking. It's just a deep lineup, a deep rotation at this point, a deep bullpen with Sasaki back there now. It's wild. By the way, the Jets, the Pats suck. Go Giants. Good job, Aaron. But yeah, guys, it's more as I get here. Where am I time wise? I wish I could see where I am time wise. Guys, drop any questions if you guys want me. I'll probably go another 15, 20 minutes. Keep it at 45, 50-ish. But it was just, I had my rant in the beginning. I'm trying to think of some other things that I heard. So with the whole Derek Jeter, Susan, Brian Cashman called back today to WFAN and said that he disagrees with Jeter and that he spoke with Jeter after he said that, whatever the case. We've never said that the Yankees call the phone downstairs and say insert this guy. What Susan said is Boone makes a lineup. The other coaches or the let's call them the spreadsheet boys. I'm just gonna call them the spreadsheet boys. Spreadsheet boys are the analytics department, front office, or whatever the guys, the game planning. They make a lineup. Boone makes a lineup. They all come together. Either I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the day or whatever or time, but normally before the games, they bring out both lineups. And Susan said a lot of the times Boone matches their lineup, and they don't have to actually fight about anything or talk about anything. But when there's let's say Ahmed is hitting fifth on Boone's lineup, but Ahmed Rosario is hitting sixth on their lineup, they would argue about that. Or let's say Boone didn't want to play Volpe and they did want to play Volpe, they would argue about that, for example. And then whatever they come up with as a team, including Boone, is what they roll out on that end. When it comes to the bullpen, I believe that they have. It's also a game plan where if we're ahead or we're behind, at what point do we go to this guy or this guy? We're going to this guy or this guy. If we're ahead, we're going to this guy or this guy. If we're behind, when against these guys. That's what it is. And if you notice, Boone did a couple of things in this postseason what I liked. He left Tim Hill in for a couple more outs, and he got out. He left Cam in. That was great. There's a couple of things that Boone did that they were not normal, that you don't think that Boone normally does when it's like Tim Hill's facing the lefties. That's it. He left, like, I believe he got the Yankees out of a jam, got the out, no run scored, then came out to face the lefty, and Boone left him for two more righties, and he got both of those outs. So that's something you see Boone do. If you notice, Boone goes to the bullpen a lot with one or two outs. Yeah, they play basically musical chairs, and Spread Cheek Boys is funny as hell. Geek Squad, Jose Medina, yeah, that's what Pete calls them. So, to you guys' point, it's just a game plan, and during the game, there's no adjustments, and this is why we feel like there's no urgency. We don't see Boone pulling the strings. Like, the fact that you didn't pinch hit for Anthony Volpe in the seventh after he looked so bad with a guy on second made no sense whatsoever. I believe Ben Rice was still on the bench, and Jason Dominguez was still on the bench. So it's like I really don't understand. You brought in JC Escaro just in case you had to burn Ben Rice or whatever. You brought JC Escaro basically in case you had to burn. You know how sometimes they would pinch hit Wells. Ben Rice is playing first, for example, but they pinch hit Jason for somebody, and then Ben Rice is already out of the game for Goldie, so they don't have any catch, so JC would come in. They didn't even use that. They did it. So why even take him? If you have Ben Rice, honestly, you could put him at catcher if you need to. You're acting like Ben Rice is going to lose you a game by catching an inning or two behind the plate. It's nonsense is what it is. Because at the end of the day, it's baseball. You really can't predict that type of stuff, because Jazz has been great at second base, and he made a huge error in a horrible moment. A 2-1 ball game is completely different than a 5-1 ball game. So it's just more of the same with these New York Yankees. The expectation that we have to go ahead and we have to sit through another year of Anthony Volpe. Wow. Anthony Volpe, like I said, 209, 243, 212 batting average. He hasn't been able to hold a 300 on-base percentage. His OPS has never been north of 666 or 665 on-base plus slugging. Like last year, he had 90 runs, man. Like, I mean, he let off a little bit, I think, too, and Soto and Judge have a lot to do with it. But Volpe's speed with his stealing base ability, he needs to walk more, man. He just needs to. I don't know where the Yankees are gonna fix that, but they need to. And if you guys remember, Miguel Andujar, I'm gonna go show you guys this because that was the main thing about. Again, the Yankees switched their philosophy, and they can say whatever they want, but I know for a fact the reason why they didn't like a lot of Miggy was because he wasn't great defensively, and then he just didn't walk. But the year he lost Rookie of the Year, and I believe it was to Otani, right? Yeah, it was to Otani. Gotta love it. Otani did pitch that year, so the year he lost Rookie of the Year, Miggy hit 27 home runs in 2018. He hit 297 and had a 328 on base. For you to hit 297, your on base should be 380, 360 at least, right? He was around 328. 855 on base percentage. He got hurt the year after he only played 12 games. He hit horrendous. Again, he came back in 2020. He hit 242, but he had a 632 on base percentage. I mean, a 632 OPS. Volpe had a 640 and play. I think it was this year. What did he finish with this year? And he didn't continue to play. The next year after that, he hit 253, a 285 on base percentage, 667 OPS. No, he's not good enough. Year after that, 230, 250. That one was really when the Yankees were about to trade him. That was really bad. But I mean, at that point, the Yankees were calling him up for a game, calling him down. Would come up for 2-3 games, call him down. It was wild what they were doing to Miggy. They never gave him like let's give this kid a legit shot again and see what he does. Because as you can see now, and the last 3 years, he's hit over three. He's hit 250 with a 300 on base, 285 with a 320 on base, 318 with a 352 on base last year. With the two teams he was last year. So with the Reds and the Athletics, the kid can hit. He wasn't great. He was never great defensively. I'll give you that. But he could hit, and his numbers. Volpe's hitting 209 with a 270 on base. Playing bad defense for a year and a half now, and we gotta sit here and look at Anthony Volpe. The philosophy is the three play outcome which is walk, strikeout, or strikeout, walk, home run is the three outcome bullshit that what the Yankees love. That's what's a walk or a home run. Strikeout doesn't really matter if you strike out or not, unless you strike out 3 times with the bases loaded, which is stupid. But it happens. If it happens to the Yankees, right? So I'm saying all this to say that the New York Yankees of 2026 may look very similar to these ones that you saw today. Don't be surprised if it's Bellinger, maybe another first baseman, another righty, a righty catcher to platoon, and they go out there with Jason and Spencer, or they trade Jason and Spencer, or they trade one of the two. I'm not sure for what, but it's too far to speculate right now what the Yankees may do. I will say that I think Luis Hill is a possible trade, and I don't want this, but because at the end of the day, we're already seeing that Rodon is going to start off late. Clark is not going to be available till midsummer. Cole should be ready by May, but we don't know that. Any setback sets the Yankees back, and then you're stuck with Max Fried and really Cam Schlitter and Will Warren. You don't know if any of those guys have a setback or any of those guys can't start. Then you're really fucked when it comes to starting rotation. So I don't like that. Is a position of strength for the Yankees, but I wouldn't trade Luis Hill yet. Robert O'Connor says, Kev, what's the biggest need for the Yankees this offseason, not named Volpe? And who would you like them to get? Listen, everybody talks about Kyle Tucker. Call me crazy. I mean, and listen, he was horrendous during the playoffs. We gotta call a spade a spade. Bellinger was bad against the playoffs, but Bellinger was a very good player throughout the entire year. Bellinger plays great defense no matter where you put him, and Bellinger is shown that when he is on offensively, that man can hit. He hits lefties well, maybe even better than I believe than he hits righties. I got to check the splits, but I know he hits lefties well. There's no issue when it comes to him against lefties. So that is a key piece of the New York Yankees. I'm assuming that they keep him. I mean, there's just, I would like to see another catcher, man. I don't think the Yankees need that, is what you're saying. So if the Yankees need somebody, I believe, because Bellinger could play first and outfield. It's an outfielder is what they really truly need. An outfielder, and man, I would like to see them get I wouldn't mind them getting another solid starter. I don't care what anybody says. Call me crazy. You just don't know with the guys that you have. Anybody goes back, and then you're screwed again. So it's gonna be interesting, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's gonna be frustrating as a fan because what if Jose Caballero comes in and he's actually playing very, very good in shortstop, and the Yankees are gonna force Anthony Volpe in some games and that maybe throws off Caballero, and then we gotta see Anthony Volpe again. Anthony Volpe has showed you that he's just not built for 160 games. He's a kid who normally, when you give him days off, he goes on streaks, and he's a much better hitter. He gets hot for a week or two, and he's ice cold for a month because he needs a break. He needs a reset. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the guy. He's like a computer. You need to fucking restart him every fucking 2-3 weeks. So the Yankees need to understand that the proof is there. He's just better when he comes off breaks. Every All-Star break, every fucking time he has 2-3 days off in a row, like whatever. I said I wanted to see how he handles this year and how he bounces back, but I'm just so sick of it, and the playoffs really pissed me off because if the Yankees would have started Jose Caballero, I'm telling you this as a fan base, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you never know with the Yankee fan base because we are a bunch of brats. We can't, and a lot of people are the sky is always falling. Like it's like insanely, but. If the Yankees would have went to Caballero more than Volpe in the postseason, maybe we would have been like, yeah, let them fight for the job. Why not? At least the Yankees are playing the guy who deserves it. If you're playing the guy that deserves it, then at the end of the day, you play whoever's hot, whoever deserves a job. That's all we're asking for. You saw Volpe get a little better when Caballero got there. There's no denying that. Caballero was a real threat to his job. And this is what we've been saying. This is how it is before. Back in the day, you hit 240, 230, you went back to the minors, and you got go figure it out, buddy. You can't do that here right now. There's always a rookie trying to come up, trying to get somebody's job, or vice versa. So it's like it's always good when there's competition for positions. That's the way it is. Becker says, Kev, do you think Yankees add 2 more relievers with Weaver maybe leaving? Yes, Becker, thank you for saying that. A lefty reliever who throws gas. That is what I want. The Yankees should pick up Tim Hill's option. That's a no-brainer. But finally get another lefty. The Yankees need 2-3 lefties in their bullpen. Everybody has them. We're the only fucking team that goes out there with one lefty reliever, and we pick up somebody from 42nd Street and ask him if he could throw if he throws lefty and if he throws more than 85, and then we sign him. So the Yankees need to have a lefty reliever that throws gas, 95, 96, 97 plus. Please. Yo, Beavis Lee Ray, what's up, my guy? Smack that like, hit that sub, buddy. Welcome to this is Late Night with Kev. Used to be Bronx or Nothing Officials channel. It's still called that, but I just renamed it, call it KLK Yankees, because sometimes I do stuff in Spanish. That's why I put the KLK Yankees and Late Night with Kev. So I just stream late sometimes, and I vent. I try to do it every other week, every 2 weeks, and I release a bunch of shorts too on this channel more than anything else. But guys, it's just like I said, man. It's just more of the same with the bullshit with this. Like, you're acting like we can't see the numbers. This kid failed the eye test, failed numbers. Like, there's just no reason to play this kid. this year when he was hurt. The Yankees are like, I love how the media tries to say it's a narrative and they love to blame the fans. This whole fan blaming drives me fucking nuts. Look at the revenue that the New York Yankees have. It's because of fans, because of diehard fans, yes. And there's a lot of casuals that go to Yankee Stadium and they will continue to go. But don't forget about the diehard fans. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say we're the New York Yankees, the best team in all sports, and walk with your head up high because I work for the New York Yankees and I'm a part of New York Yankees and New York Yankees this, and then you continue to get fucking belt to ass every fucking postseason, bro. Like the way the Yankees lost in the last year and the way they lost this year was horrible, man. The Yankees got blown out games 1 and 2 by Toronto. That's not good. Like, it's just not. They've had 3 teams celebrating their home field the last 3 postseasons. That's not good. When have we lost pride? Heart? When were those not part of the Yankees thread? When did that go away? It's never gone away. For the fans. But for maybe the organization. Maybe some of the players are starting to echo shit that the fucking front office talks about. This is why we're so fed up with Boone, because Boone doesn't care, man. Boone goes out there and he says what he says, and I gotta say I feel bad for him sometimes because it's like you take so many shots, so many bullets for everybody, bro. Everybody. Harkey loses his job. Chapman loses his job. What did they do wrong? So base running is the issue because only because of Chapman. This has been going for how long now? I can see Chapman. I can see Travis. Sorry, I can see Travis, but Harkey. What the fuck did Harkey do? Thank you, Beavis Lee Ray. Jose Medina says, yeah, blame the fans because we make 20 errors at shortstop and play every day. Oh, one thing I was going to say. Thank you for saying that. I have it here. Oh, my God. They got plate discipline? Volpe's a 62% first pitch swinger. And so Volpe in 2023 had 8 of his 17 errors were throwing errors. 2024, 9 of his 16 errors were throwing errors. 2025, 13 of his errors were throwing errors. His shoulder was his non-throwing shoulder, the issue this year. These were throwing errors. Math ain't mathin', Pop. Dansby Swanson, who you want to compare him with, in this first, I'm not counting the 30-game season for Dansby Swanson. I just want to be clear. I'm counting the ones right after that, 2017 to 2019. He had a total of 12 throwing errors in those 3 seasons. 12. Anthony Volpe had 13 last year alone. They're not the same defensively. There are some aspects where I will say that in defensive run saves, Volpe is better than Dansby in those years. But if you look at Dansby now, his outs above average are insane. And I don't think Volpe's ever going to get there because he just doesn't have the arm. He just doesn't have the arm sometimes to make a great play and then throw a guy out at first. It's nothing. That's something you can't fix. Not having an arm. That's why I think that the Yankees really pushing this shit. It's like, you know how good I think Anthony Volpe would be at second base? You know how good Anthony Volpe would be at second base? There's nothing wrong with bringing Bo Bichette. And if you think Lombard is the next guy, in 2 and 3 years, Bo Bichette go to third, and George Lombard could be your shortstop. What's wrong with that? You gonna tell me Bo Bichette can't play third? If you're a shortstop, you can play third. All right? Please. Arm is wet spaghetti is what it is. Kev, the whole press conference was basically nonsense. It's becoming an annual thing. Bro, this whole notion that we have to stick for Anthony Volpe is insane. I don't know what to tell you guys, bro. Next year is gonna be rough watching this fucking team with Anthony Volpe at shortstop, bro. Like, yes, he can be a great defender, but I really think New York is pretty big for the kid, even though he's from Jersey. He's a legend in Jersey, man. There's a lot of high school, a lot of Volpe is a legend in New Jersey. I'll tell you that much. I'm from Jersey. He is. But maybe shortstop is not Volpe. Is not the answer for Volpe. Why can't he play second base? I don't think the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees extend Jazz. I don't know. I'm not saying not to or now. We have one more year with him. That's another guy that needs to show up in October, bro. I know you had that one home run, but one home run in 7 games. I know you had 2 hits. I think in another game too. But at this point, guys, you tell me. You guys, one's in the chat if you want Boba Fett. That's the only legit free agent that there's out there. You're really hurting. You're not hurting. You're not. I mean, their offense without Boba Fett, you can tell. I mean, Dorado still has a good offense, but without Boba Fett, bro, like, you're taking them from a division rival. Trevor Story is a free agent. I think he opts out, but I don't think the Yankees go after him. Um, you got your boy. A lot of people talked about him. Willie Castro. I wonder what he's gonna cost. I mean, he's not a great hitter either, but at least he's had seasons where he ends over a 300 on base percentage. I'll tell you that much. And it's almost every other season. He's had seasons over 100 OPS as well, something Volpe has never been able to do. He was an All-Star last year, so last year had a pretty good year. Played second base. Let me see what his shortstop numbers look. But it's not. I don't see the Yankees. I mean, I don't know how cheap he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I'm sorry, bro. I love Waldo, but I think I don't know what the Yankees are gonna do. That's another thing. Like, we gotta stop, man, with some of these guys. Like, they have to click, and bro, you have to think about Aaron Judge and Cole and their prime, bro. If you're not thinking about that, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You can't sit there and tell me you're not. It's just that simple. Yeah, that's about it, guys. There's not anything else for shortstop unless it's via trade. So there's not a lot out there. If you look at outfielders, obviously it's going to be. I think Kyle Schwarber stays with the Phillies. Cody Bellinger is going to be the Yankees' number one looker. I think Kyle Tucker is gonna want 400 million, bro. I think that's what he wants. I think that's where he's gonna be around there. So I don't see the Yankees adding another $40 million outfielder. I just don't see them doing that. You can get Belly for 5 years, 29 million, 28 million maybe, or 30. That puts him at what, 180? Yeah. Gurriel Jr. has a player option. Maybe he picks it up, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Because he's 32. Oh, Luis Robert Jr. is definitely going to be a free agent because he has a club option for 20 million. They're not picking that shit up. Maybe change of scenery for that guy. He's a very good center fielder. Then you can put, like, if you can get him cheap and bring Bellinger back, and then you're playing around with Belly, Belly at first and left field, and Luis Robert in center field. I know Jason's the odd man out, but Jason right now, he's still young enough that it doesn't matter if he's the fourth outfielder playing periodically. Stanton's going to miss time, so DH is going to open up. Get Judge off his feet a couple days a week, and Jason play more outfield. So there's a lot that the Yankees can do in the outfield. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Kevin, unfortunately, it probably doesn't happen. That's a great plan, though. The Yankees won't do a Bo Bichette at short. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like it would have been moving Bo to third after Lombard is ready, and you guys all agree with me. One's in the chat. I mean, moving Bo to third after 2 years, 2 3 years when Lombard is ready. That's as easy as it gets. Roberts is a righty. We need some righties. Jason, that's exactly why I thought of him right away. And he had a very good year defensively too. He's a plus defender. Um, I think he just needs to a change of scenery. I know his hitting wasn't phenomenal this year, but he's a guy who hit 38 home runs in 2023. That you just that just doesn't disappear. I just think that he needs to. I just think he doesn't want to play there. Remember, there's guys that play better when they come to New York, and a lot of happens with a lot of sometimes with relievers. Fernando Cruz looks a lot better when he's came a New York Yankee. Bellinger had a great year on both sides of the baseball. Compared not to his first year with the Cubs, but compared to last year, um, Caballero had a phenomenal. If you look at, he had, I think he finished with a 1.9 B WAR, and that one WAR was with the Yankees in 2 months. That's how good he was with the Yankees, and the Yankees didn't play him in the playoffs. But yeah, and I think Robert's going to be cheap, honestly too. Doesn't work out, doesn't work out. But the Yankees need to figure something out. They need to have options. Akamoto, I know. Pete talked about him. Hideki Matsui Light, I believe was the term. I like it because he can play first and third at a plus clip, so plus defender. So the days that you want to sit uh, McMahon for lefty, he plays third base. You're gonna give Ben Rice a day off. He plays first. I really do like that option, honestly. I don't know what he's gonna request. I believe he's posting early, so it's kind of like Sasaki. So I think the Yankees would have to pay a posting fee and all that shit. I don't know how that works, 100%. I gotta double check with Pete. I think he's not supposed to post. He's not supposed to be posted yet. So Beaversley Ray says, unfortunately, I knew that Yankees were not going to make it this year. I wanted to keep a positive mindset. We really had the gauntlet. We had to go through two of our division rivals to get to just to get to the ALCS. I knew it was going to be hard. We beat the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees got that monkey off their back. I didn't expect them to lay down the way they did those first two games, and that is honestly Rodon and Fried, man. You just went out there and you couldn't give us 5-3 or 5-2, man. You just couldn't. Especially Fried, man. We needed that game with Fried, and it just didn't happen. That's not good. If you look at the starting rotations ERA besides Cam Schlittler in the ALDS, it was horrible for the Yankees. So yeah, man, those are some of the Jared Durant. I think they pick up that option. Is $8 million. They definitely probably pick up that option. Yeah, I think they do. Maybe Harrison Bader. They pick up that option too at 10. That's not bad for Bader. He had a pretty good year over there. But yeah, guys, those are some of the names that are being thrown around early. It's too early to really sit down and dissect the offseason. I just wanted to really rant a little bit about Anthony Volpe and this whole nonsense about Anthony Volpe. It's just really it's really pissing me off. I hope Jason has good run in the Lidong down here, and he does pretty good off defensively. That the Yankees give him a shot. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. What are the Yankees cooking? I don't understand why you really need. Because my issue is, you have a catcher who's great at framing. We're going to have OBS next year. He's not. He can't throw. He really can't throw guys out. And then you have McMahon, who could become a 209, 210. We saw it at times. And then Volpe. So Wells is also a streaky hitter. If I go and I look at his splits this year, because everybody wanted to say he was hurt last year. I just think that Austin Wells is straight. My man ended up with a 0 WAR. That's hilarious, bro. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at his splits, right? Because I want to see something for you. I want to tell something for you guys. Uh, Isn't it crazy that he hit more against lefties? He had a higher OPS against lefties this year. I'm trying to look at the months. So in April and March, he hit 213. In May, he hit 206. June, he had 224. This year was just like meh the entire year for Austin Wells. There was no year where he went off. Because if we look at last year, I'm gonna tell you last year. Last year he had a couple of months where he was just scorching hot. I think September too. No, September was a bad year. Sorry. So last year he started off slow, 196. May slow, but then June 238, July 277, 325 in August, and then he fell off a fucking cliff. They say it was because he got hurt. He hit 111, but again, the Yankees continue to play guys hurt, and then it's like they're hurt. Um, it's not their fault that they're hurt. We're gonna give them another shot, but also they're hurt. We're gonna continue to play the guys that are hurt because it's not affecting them. You can't have it both ways. You just can't. The Yankees, you can't. That's not the way it works, my friend. It just doesn't. I can't get paid and not work. You can't say on one hand that the injury doesn't hurt him, and then on the other hand that you played him because you didn't think the injury was gonna bother him. It's just hilarious how the Yankees pull shit out of their anus. I hope Jose Medina says, I hope Jason has a special fielding coach or AL winner. Not just game experience. Work on it. He didn't start left field work. No, he actually, Jose, he actually did work a little bit down there. I know Joel Sherman was talking about, I don't want to see him hitting, I want to see him fielding. And I cold tweeted him and I sent him a video of him working on fly balls in Dominican Republic last year. He did, but it's not nothing insane. You need game reps. If you played baseball before, you know that the ball in center field, you're fielding the ball straight ahead is different than left field. The ball tails a lot more in left field, depending on the hitter and as well the pitches and all that stuff. So there's a lot more movement in left field, and you have to react a lot quicker in left field to get decent jumps. And I think that that's what Jason needs. And once Jason becomes an average, like he can read line drives and fly balls averagely, he has the tools because he's fast. He'll make up the speed if he has a late jump. He's just not getting the reads that he wants. And gotta understand, guys, left field is 400. It's one of the deepest left fields in baseball, the Yankees. So that ball in the gap that a lot of times he can't get to, a lot of guys won't be able to get to in that stadium. That's probably a home run in a couple other stadiums. So, yeah, but I hope he does get the work and the what he needs down there. But I was talking here about Austin Wells splits, like I said right before I closed out. And last year he was abysmal against lefties. That's really a 180 for him. So another thing that I love about the Yankees, this is the contradictory thing that we're talking about. They talk about Jason not playing against lefties because he's not good as a righty, but they continued to throw. They did throw Cabrera out to play as a righty, just to throw another righty. Remember when J.D. Davis batted cleanup for the New York Yankees in the Subway Series because he was a righty? You can go down a list of shit that the Yankees do that doesn't make any sense. I've said this time and time again. It's just not because a person is a righty. It's the caliber of the hitter. Austin Slater killed lefties, but what did he do? Yeah, so like I said, I would like to see competition for catcher or maybe a righty catcher as well. At least or somebody that at least that catcher can be special, like he could throw guys out. Just in case we get a team that likes to steal bases or whatever the case may be. I would like to see more of that. Honestly, a righty catcher. I don't think Austin Wells is a bad catcher. I don't think he's a great catcher. I think he gets the job done. Is what I think about Bigote. He's a great framer. I'll give him that. But that's what the Yankees love about him. I don't think he calls a great game. A lot of people don't like the way he calls games. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do there. Ramuto, we've talked about it on Twitter, and um, he's 35, so I don't know what he's looking for. Do the Phillies offer him a cheap deal just to stay there as a part of? He's a very good. He's a clubhouse guy. I tell you what, though, he is a no nonsense guy. He is an old school minded baseball player. I would love him in that clubhouse. Tell you that much. The clubhouse can use a player like Realmuto. I don't know if the Yankees will do that. He has great pop time. He can throw guys out, but I don't think he's a great framer or anything like that. But again, you're gonna have OBS next year, so you're gonna be able to get away with some of that anyway by challenging. So it's gonna be interesting what the Yankees do. I do think they do need a righty, and I would. And this is what all we're asking for is make the phone call. Don't act like by you saying we're gonna look at every position. If there's a possibility to improve in multiple positions, not just shortstop, we will take a look at it. That's or catcher. That's not taking a shot at who's there now. That's also just letting people know that yeah, we'll take a look at it. I mean, it's dancing. It's gray. There's gray area in that statement, but it's not the like statement that we hear that Dansby Volpe's gonna turn into Dansby Swanson, or he's freaking Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones went on to play good for another fucking team, buddy. How does that help the New York Yankees? Is what I always say. How does that help the New York Yankees? Again, if you're gonna have McMahon hitting the way he does, and I love McMahon's defense, but I knew it was gonna rip our eyes out sometimes when he hits. He needs to pull the ball more. You're in Yankee Stadium now, buddy. So McMahon, Volpe when he gets in his woes, and even Wells when he gets in his woes, that's not a good bottom of the order, man. That's a long tail to get to the top of the order, and just get ready for 2026, guys. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I hit 107, guys. Thank you so much. Smack that like, hit that sub. Thank you so much for chilling with me tonight. Another edition late night with Kev. I don't know when I'll do this again. Maybe when we get some more news about anything New York Yankee related. Stay tuned on the U on NYY Underground. We will continue to do podcasting shows there all throughout the off season. Is what we do. We don't stop. Thank you so much if you come from there. Shout out to the U always. And if you're joining me, since you know me for a while before I started this channel, thank you as well. Leave your comments if you want me to cover anything after. I do check them out. And smack that like, hit that sub if you're driving around today and you're listening to this in the morning, because I do get DMs that people... I'm sorry for those who DM me and say, Kev, please do another late night. I know I gotta start doing them more. I'm sorry. This is very fun. I like to respond with everybody here, which is fun. This is what it is. It's talking with you guys. We're all fans at the end of the day. I'm just brave enough to talk shit in front of a microphone, and gravitate to some of you guys, and I appreciate it. And I'm always appreciative of the guys who reach out and check in how we're doing and on the socials, and always ask us. When I'm on NYU, there's always, Kevin, late night. So thank you so much. And again, let's see what the Yankees do. I would love the Yankees to surprise me with a shortstop, but we already saw that wasn't going to happen. I just wished that they would have at least allowed us to ponder it or think about it for a month or two, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even give us that. That's how much you fucking shoving Anthony Volpe down the fan base's throat, man. This is why I said that you guys make Yankee fans dislike players, because you live and die by them. You lived and died by Verdugo last year. You lived and died by Mark Leiter Jr. last year. You lived and died by all these guys. DJ LeMahieu, Josh Donaldson. These are guys that you played way too long. They should have been out of the team. And you continue to put him out there, and the Yankee fans ended up hating him. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Stop flipping this shit on the fans. It's not the fans' fault. It's you guys. But thank you very much. Smack that like, hit that sub. If you guys came in late, sorry. Rewatch everything. Just venting a little bit about the press conference today and about the bullshit that the Yankees always come up with, man. So thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Fuck Rizzo. Nice play. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I tell you what, brother. Smack that like, hit that sub, and one night I might do this show as person. I tell you that much. But right now I gotta go give cook some steak for my pet gator. He's been hungry. He's been fasting for about 2 days. I should feed him an Anthony Volpe shirt, but he'll probably puke it out and shit. But I tell you what, I'm gonna go shit in my Lincoln and smoke a cigar. Talk to you guys.